Look at that. It's starting to come together pretty nice. So, story time. Experimenting with scene transitions here. We have the direct me to you conversation. Hopefully my voice can keep you entertained well enough that you don't need to see the wondrous of just the house. So I spent a few days in game doing things as I do. I went on an adventure with the Electra to try and find a jungle so that I could get bamboo, so that I could build the scaffolding, which is what you see around the house right now. We'll get to that in just a bit. Electras are actually not the best mode of transportation. They are, but they also aren't. There's a little caveat in that chunks have to render when you're exploring new terrain, and you can fly faster than the game can generate chunks. And I don't know if that's because it's in a snapshot or if that's just literally a limitation of the game, but I would use a rocket and I'd get to the end of the world. There would be nothing for me to see. I'd have to pause and then start, unpause it. And even if I just have it in the pause menu, my computer would still be generating chunks. Game would get ready to go, and off I would sail. And I made for a very, very long trip. But I did it. I went something like 10,000 blocks out. I came across a mycelium island, which is something that I had never seen before in Minecraft. While I've seen them in other people playing Minecraft. I've heard of them, but I had never found one. But my excitement for finding it was somewhat diminished because I had not gone out to find such a thing. I was looking for a jungle. And I found an iceberg. Frozen ocean? I think they're called frozen oceans. Don't remember for sure. And I found one of the podzol, if I'm saying that right. Spruce forests with the giant spruce trees. Never seen one of those before. That was pretty cool. And when I hit something like 10,000 blocks out, and I was about halfway through my fireworks stack, I decided to cut my losses, turn around, and come back. And I did a bit of a U-turn, try and see some new country. And on my way back, I came across a desert temple. I ran across a few different villages while doing this. And a little bit after that desert temple, as luck would have it, as fate smiles upon me, I see a jungle. And I was able to get some bamboo. So back to it all, I used the bamboo. This is bamboo. I also got some cocoa beans while I was there to make some brown dye. Not cookies. Cocoa beans aren't good for anything other than brown dye. But this is bamboo. You can break it with your hands, or the fastest way to break it down is just use a sword. You get a lot of it. It's pretty useful in that it burns, so you can power furnaces with it. And I'm not sure of all of its different recipes, but if you use 6 bamboo and a string, you can make a scaffolding. I don't know what I'm going to do with all the extra of that. It's kind of funny. This is becoming just the construction side of the island. I have cactus, bamboo, some jungle trees that I planted so I can harvest them for other things that I need. I don't know. They're just there. But I used said bamboo to make much of the scaffolding for the first time ever that I got to use it. It's kind of sad that such a useful block is sort of gated behind the necessity of finding a jungle, which is somewhat of a rare biome. These took a little bit of getting used to. So you can throw them down, but if you try and put another block on top of it, it doesn't go on. It just goes to the other side, which is actually pretty neat. You can build it out that far, and if you're in the air, they start dropping off. And demo it over the edge here. So it's really cool because you want to build some scaffolding along the line of your house. You just do that for a long while, and then they start dropping off. But they land on the ground like gravel, and eventually they build their way back up, and you can keep going. What's super neat about it is if you break the support, they all come apart. And they're all just one punch break. Super easy to break. Yeah, make sure you pick them all up though. Not that they're really expensive, but... And then the other thing that's neat about them is they also function as ladders. So you can go up and down them. And I went up and worked on the outside. I put some not shingles, brain fail me now, shutters. I did some spruce wood for shutters. I kind of like the design of that for shutters more than dark oak. And I put in the ceiling. Had to go get some more concrete. And I just kind of left the scaffolding here for a fun little demo. The one thing that I find frustrating about it, though, is if you want to build up. Because of how they extend outward like that, you can't just throw, like, if I just keep clicking, it just keeps going out in whichever direction you're looking. So you have to hold jump and crouch at the same time, which gives you this weird bobbing effect. So you can stack straight up that way for as high as you want. And then because they're one-click breaks, you just take fall damage on the way down. But they're fun. They're neat. I'm glad that I got them. Finished the front windows in both the front and those are just spares. And in the back, these things came in quite handy on this side because there's not a lot of room right there for me to build things. So by stacking out some scaffolding, made things pretty easy. And then I also built these side windows out. And I did this whole platform so I could stand back and do stuff. And it's kind of neat. And just walk out over on the roof. Like, look at all my villagers. But yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. So the outside's more or less done. I'll get up on the roof, show a view of that. So that's what I did with the roof. Blue concrete and some oak slabs to give it just a little bit of texture so it's not quite so brazen. And again, mobs will likely spawn up here because it's flat surface that's not lit. Mobs won't spawn on those roofs because they're stairs, and for reasons in the game, mobs cannot spawn on anything that is not a full block. Mobs cannot spawn on half slabs like this, but they can spawn on full slabs like that. So I guess in theory, something could spawn on that right there if it wasn't lit. I don't know. We'll have to watch it. But the first time a creeper drops off of my roof onto me as I come out of my house, I'm going to be an upset person. And I will need to... And it's just fun. Aesthetically, it does not belong here, but it's just fun that I was able to fill in that space as such. Do a plank into the village. Arr, matey, walk the plank into the trading bazaar. So I'll take care of those sooner or later. I did go back to the other end city. I didn't do any looting, but I killed shulkers because I wanted more shulker boxes. So I used the brown dye to make one for all the wood and a gray one for all of the stone that I was doing. And I saw another end city from the end city that I was at. So it's 3 end cities in a row. I'll have to go back there for something like that. But now we are on to the inside of the house. I made 2 more maps. I went up north a little bit, explored a bit up that way. And then this is the way that I went for the jungle. Way, way out there further than the map would go. Turned around, came back through there. And I just did not have the patience to fill out 2 extra maps. But a whole map wall would be nice. But yeah, I need to decorate the inside of the house now. And make it a little bit more livable. But I can just sit there and look at that. And be like, yes. That's pretty nice. I don't know. Interior decorating is a little bit harder though, because walls get in the way of things and whatnot. And then there's one other thing that I did worth noting. I like how these episodes are mostly me just telling you what I did while I was away and not doing on camera, but there's sort of a balance of what's fun to watch versus what's just tedious. But I went and I smashed some more villagers together. Oh, two things to say. I made 2 more librarians. I have not turned them into zombies and cured them for great deals, but I got Sweeping Edge and Sharpness 5 at long last. So this sword is about as good as I want it. I could put Fire Aspect 2 on it, but again, then that makes it to where I can't harvest the chicken singularity. They're almost to the point of entity damage. Sometimes while I'm in there, it hurts me. So I like having a sword that I can just collect raw meat with to sell. I did a whole bunch of grindstone work. I'm stupid in that I thought you could put piercing and multi-shot on the same crossbow. So I lost quite a few levels trying to do that. You live and learn. But I now have a sword that would give me Smite 5, which I am going to be doing as soon as I have 30 levels again. Because I really like the idea of having a wither killing sword. Wither skeletons and withers. Get a beacon going. And then lastly, there's the text is weird. There's snapshot. Give it feel bad for it. Unbreaking 3, piercing 4, which I guess is as high as it goes. Because I tried to combine another piercing 4 and it didn't go together. Quick charge 2, which if I googled that right, that's as high as that goes. Mending. So there's my siege crossbow. And there's another one that I went through quite a few levels of creating just to get multi-shot. And then I tried to combine them in an anvil, and it was like, well, that doesn't work. And this was a sword that I enchanted trying to get Sweeping Edge, and I was just going to smash it together with that sword. Sweeping Edge was the only thing that the enchanting table showed. Had Fire Aspect 2. So this will probably be the one that I put. Nah, I don't know. That sword's just there. We'll do something with it somewhere along the line. I don't know. But then I spent a bit of my time fishing as well. Fishing is a kind of a nice relaxing thing that I do to get levels back. What are you doing? Oh, that's a goal. I thought it was a skeleton. He's trying to work his way out. We do still have Private Brian down there. He's safe. I went fishing. And I got 3 Nautilus shells almost in a row. And I was like, what is this sorcery? I was like, I have to stop fishing because I'll get all the Nautilus shells before I'm actually ready to build a conduit before anyone sees it on camera. But fishing is great for experience and food. And you fish up odd enchantments that you can break down to get the raw experience with the grindstone. And you also just get experience for fishing. And so a little bit after I was done fishing, I was killing squids. There's just a bunch of squids spawning down in here. I'm killing the squids for their ink sacs so I can sell their ink sacs and make mad money to buy the sharpness book. See, squids. I'd go over there and I'd kill them, and a bunch would spawn over here. So I'd come over here and merculate them, and some would spawn over there. And I was just going back and forth, killing a bunch of squids. Suddenly drowned right there. Right there. With a Nautilus shell in his hand, popped up. I was like, well, can't turn that down now that it's there. So I went and got me a Nautilus shell. Got all 8. I can make a conduit now. That is useful. That is what that is. I would like it more if it all dropped right at your feet and didn't kind of scatter all over the place, but still. See, like, rather than having to mine all that or climb up there and break it one at a time. Pop goes the weasel. Pop goes the scaffold. I don't know. Bamboo also grows 1 notch for every bone meal. As near as I can tell, there's no chance. Like, if you use bone meal on wheat or carrots or potatoes or trees, there's a chance for them to tick over and grow or go a growth stage. Not bamboo. Bamboo, you just click it, and it's better. This is support. That's all hanging over the air. So as I break that, yeah. So I was able to get a lot of bamboo really quick, and I had a lot of string hanging around. Right, there's our support. Bloop. Had a lot of string hanging around, so I was able to make like 2 stacks. It's 2.5 stacks. Yeah. Maybe a little over 2 stack. A little bit over 2.5. Almost. Yep, 3 stacks. 3 stacks of scaffolding. It was fun and useful and great. Now that has been 16 minutes of me explaining what I've done. Now it's time to get on to doing what we do. I need another shulker box for miscellaneous things. Okay, so in the past, in the other house that I have, I built a staircase that wrapped up around the door and went to the top floor right there. And I liked that design. I do like that design, but I'm not sure if it's the best way to do things. Like, I honestly was thinking of kind of cutting out a bit of this window and making a balcony that I could land on with my Elytra. But I couldn't really figure it out. Like, put a door over there, knock out the window and put a frame around the glass. That's kind of weird. A door in the glass? That's even weirder. So I didn't. I just decided I'd kind of build a little balcony of sorts out here. Sort of a deck that I could come and do my fishing from. So I don't know if I want to do another staircase or not. But I figure I will just build it all now and change it later. But I'm about done with the house. There's not a lot more to it that I can commit fully to. And you're in the way. So until I can finally make up my mind on how I want to do things, I'm just gonna have to wait. I kind of think necessity is what will govern my creative path. Well, I never thought the day would come where I ran out of cobblestone fence, but I guess the day has come. And it just so happens that I still end up with extra. But like I say, I feel as though necessity will be the main deciding factor on how I finish out the house. Like, if I need something, a room with something in it, then I will find a way to put it there. But that will be as an as-needed basis, not a we're going to do this all the time. Or we're not going to dedicate a whole episode to designing the interior and where I want to lay out a potion stand and a brewery and all those things. I guess a potion stand is a brewery. You get what I mean. It's like, though, do I want to build a staircase like I did before, or do I want to build a water elevator? Water elevator is a little bit weird to put inside of a house, but the functionality of it can't be denied. I guess we're just going to have to take this whole little corner out. Move the bed to the middle of the room for now. And we can move a lot of the things. That's going to bother me. So I want it. No one's going to see it. Don't pay any attention to it. You guys don't know what's happening. We can move a lot of the little things over this way. Like the furnace and the smoker and the blast furnace. Do like I did in the old house and put them in these spots. Well, the ladder also kind of complicates things a little bit. Like that. Also more or less the time where I can move a crafting table in here. And the 1-block stations fit real nicely in the walls there. I think of something different to do with the end windows, though. Now I can put a step in there like that. I'm not sold on that. We'll just put 2 steps there for now. I'll look at that later. Again, these end windows, there were staircases around them, so I didn't really have to deal with them like I did these side windows. Dude. Yeah, it's like I remember Dragon Head, no wait. I had something like that. Not like that. Like that. To sort of frame in the windows a little bit more. I'm not going to worry about that too much just yet. Like I say, this right here is more or less the finished project. I'm going to go leave these here for now for inventory reasons. Going to go get the smoker and the furnace and the blast furnace and leave all of my inventory over there. So every time I need to actually cook something, I'm going to have to grab it from here and run all the way back. While I'm at it, leaves a nice spot for me to put these maps now. Just so that they're out of my inventory. And then go furnace, blast furnace, smoker. Just like that. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Because unless I'm forgetting something, those are the 3 furnace blocks. There's the campfire, true, but you know, what do you need to do with campfire indoors? It's just weird. I might put a campfire out here just for a nice little pretty thing. Make a smoker as I build my dock out into the ocean. But that's a later project. I might actually kind of build a kitchen in this spot. Yeah, that seems like a good idea. I played around with the chains in the lanterns. Like literally all of the lanterns and chains that are out here, to keep them out of my inventory before I was ready to hang them. And these lanterns there, I just put them all in the ceiling there. And I had a row of lanterns coming off a chain, and then a row of lanterns coming off of one chain. There's 2 chains, 1 chains, and then lanterns stuck on the ceiling in sort of a stair-step fashion. And it actually looked really cool. Something you'd see in an actual kitchen. So I might do something like that in there. But like I say, that's for a different time, different day. I just throw all that in there. Unloved spruce planks and birch planks. I was using those to cook things in the furnaces. It's kind of what I like to do with little odd burnable things. Rather than use a whole stack of coal for something, I'm like, I don't use birch planks for anything. Throw it in there. It'll cook 1.5 things. 1 birch plank will cook 1.5 things. And just good for a single bit of fish or something like that. Oh, I forgot a spot. Oh, no. There, it's fixed. All your OCD may rest. Oh, no, I forgot that spot. Your OCD may not rest. Okay, one last slow pan around the room. Use the cinematic mode. I see a spot. Right there, but that should be it. Other spots to be filled in as needed. I think we can call the house finished. It's not finished, but we can call it finished. We'll do an electric flyby. Look at that. Look at that. And there's the roof. And just crash into the floor. Oh, if the bed wasn't there, that would have been a nice smooth landing. Interior walls. Rooms to be assigned. It's like, you have to be careful with walls. I like an open floor plan. Because if you put a wall up right up against the window there to square something in, it doesn't look super great. But you can delegate a lot of rooms to the upstairs, which I haven't shown you all the stuff that I did up here, but the wood that's in the middle, I sort of accented that a little bit. I still need to put in the columns, the pillars. And I'm probably going to fill in this ceiling a little bit, just so that there's not so much dead space up there. I'll fill it in with wood probably, bring it down 2 blocks, even with that window, and put some lighting up. But that's all stuff that I'm going to do just as I come to it, and you're not going to have to worry yourselves about it unless you do worry about it, unless this house is literally just a burning vendetta that you want to see finished, in which case... yeah. Let's see if we can pick up the shulker boxes. This was my concrete making spot. Take our shovel. Do a little grass path coming out. Just a shulker box. Something like that. Home sweet home. Ta-da! Might put some flowers along the path here. You know, lots of fun little stuff that I can do in downtime. But I'm gonna call this episode here. It's been fun. It took a while to get done and built, but there's the house proper. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. I am going to now start on a conduit because I want sea lanterns to decorate the interior of the house. Sea lanterns and soulfire torches. Those are my 2 things. But I'm going to do that in the next episode. Outro.